overthinking about my life. I've been overthinking about my life and everything that I got going on. I ain't gonna switch, I ain't gonna change my life. I'm gonna ride into the world.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Big Brothers Podcast. This is episode 8. This is episode 8. Man, it's been a little journey. We're working on things. We're getting better. We appreciate all of our fans. Appreciate everyone who's been tuned in and just showing love. So today, I'm excited, man. Today, we got our second guest, DG, a.k.a. Raid the Tape. This man right here, actually, we were talking right before I started the podcast, and he was kind of giving me some insight on this whole YouTube thing and stuff like that. We will get into that later on, but man, I'm happy he hit me up. I was like, what's good? Like, it's time to get on. You know, I've been trying to hit him up, like, it's time to slide out here. So,
it's been,
good to have you on,
It's
bro.
been like a couple of weeks. Y'all put out, like you're saying, this episode 8, and y'all been had it up for what, 3 weeks now, a month?
No, but
yeah.
So
I think it's been about a month,
almost a month, huh? Because our first week we put one video out, and then when we've been doing 2, so episode 8, so it has to been it's a month, bro.
Yep.
Has to be a month like this week. That's crazy. It's time is going by, and man, I wanted him to come on right away, but I was also thinking like, man, we got to get up in here first and kind of just get our rhythm going, get everything flowing, because we can't fumble we can't fumble nothing. We got to just stay on point. But yeah, man, it's fucking good to have you on, and man, how you been, man? How's life? How's life treating you right now?
Man, it's good. It's been a minute since I've been to Yuba City, you know what I mean? For people that don't know how I know, you know what I mean, you and Pungi, because of y'all cousin Debo, you know what I mean? But that's how I know y'all, and I was watching one of y'all podcasts, and I was thinking like, y'all was talking about doing crazy stuff, like kids went outside and stuff like that, and y'all would do crazy stuff over on Last, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking like, man, I used to be over there, you know what I mean? Over on Last.
That's how we met you, yeah.
Kicking it by the little green box right in front of grandma's house and all that. You know
we always sit right there, yeah, that's crazy.
I remember y'all running around, and then a little, you know what I mean, little Casemiro's over there running around, so
That's crazy.
I remember,
that's crazy, man. So yeah, like he said, like that's how we met him, our cousin Debo. His name is David. So we don't call him David, we call him DG. And it's crazy because I remember, as time, I think we said it in one of the podcasts, like someone said, I think you said it, like you never know when your last day is hanging out outside, so I don't know when the last day was when we saw him, but I just remember we all got older, and I kind of started seeing things like, I think you went into the military, right? You went into the military, and I was just like, boom, I wanted to follow him. I was like, I wonder if he remembers me, like it's been a minute. It's been like years and years, so I know you went to the military. So I wanted to ask you to kind of get this started. Like, so we met from Debo, and we kind of like, we all hung out. That's how we hung out, was on Last. But like, I'm curious to know a little bit about you. Like, where did you grow up? I don't know if you were born in Yuba City. So where did you grow up? How did you grow up?
I was born in Turlock, man. Y'all know where Turlock is?
Kind of like,
it's like by Modesto, basically.
Right. Kind of go to the Bay Area.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a little country town. I was born out there, man, and then I moved. I was like back and forth between there and here, Yuba City, for a minute. You know what I mean? Probably up until like 5th grade, and then that's when I just stayed in Yuba City from like 5th grade to like freshman year or something. And then I moved to Sac. Yeah. So
you did move, so it was quick. So I thought we might have been. I knew you left earlier than like what I thought. Freshman year makes a lot of sense because we were still you're only a few years older than I am, so I was probably like a 6th grader, maybe something like that. So
Yuba City, but you already know I was over there on Last a lot. So when I was in Yuba City, that's how I ran into y'all. And I just live right up the street, right around the corner from where we're at right now. And that's why I was always over there. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Me and D, we went to school together.
So that's how you met Debo.
Yeah,
okay.
We over there at Lincrest. You know
what I mean?
And I remember he used to always wear his little Kobe jersey.
Yeah.
We used to be over there. I know it was Big Bro Ben, and that's how we ended up linking up though. But after going to Sac, started going to school out there, and then you know what I mean. Yuba City and Sac ain't the same.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like only 45 minutes away, and that shit's different.
Yeah. Like, are you from out here in Yuba City?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Born and raised?
Yep.
Okay. So I kind of want to ask you something, you know what I mean? But because you black, right?
Yep.
Are you mixed with anything?
75 black, a quarter white.
Okay. But you go to SAC, you know what I mean? It's a different kind of culture, you know, so it's completely different. But in Yuba City, it was like, when I was younger, there was nothing but Hispanics.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I went to Park Avenue. I was like the
Yeah.
only black kid, you know, so I learned some words quick. You know what I mean? Because you know, they was talking shit, you know what I mean? you learn what my out there mean real quick, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? You start getting into fights, you know what I mean, messing around, and you know, it's just funny because all my peoples is Hispanic, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then you move to SAC, and then it's completely different. Everybody ain't Hispanic. You know what I mean? It's a big mixture, you know. So that was a dope little experience growing up, and then going to the Army. After I graduated, a couple years after I graduated.
So what made you decide that's a route you want to go to as well?
Cause I was bullshitting.
Right.
Yeah, I was bullshitting. I ain't have no direction. I ain't got nothing to do. You know what I mean? I really ain't had nothing to do. After I graduated, which luckily I graduated, and got my shit together. But you know, my mom was like, "Oh shit, you know what I mean? 2 weeks, you got to be out of here." You feel me? So it was like she already knew I was straight because I had some money. You know, I was doing my thing, and so you know what I mean. A week later, I was out the house. You know, and then at that point, I was doing whatever I wanted. Right. You know what I mean? 18, dude, I had my own car. You know, I had my own place. Whatever, I did whatever I wanted. You know. I'm from Yuba City. I got a lot of people in Yuba City, so I'd be here, Yuba City to the Bay Area, you know, doing a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean, and just having fun, and then, you know, just a lot of bullshit that a kid would do, you know, and then that's when I was like, you know what, I gotta chill out. I'm finna dip, you know what I mean? So that's when I dipped.
Was there anything like, besides like you said, like I gotta chill out? Was there anything that like happened? Not saying necessarily to you or what. Is there anything that like a pivotal moment that made you like say like, damn, I gotta do something. Like I gotta.
It's a life-changing experience.
Right.
Not really a life-changing experience, just a lot of stuff.
Because the military, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a big commitment right there.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
a lot of different things. This is events that just, you know what I mean, transpire. And then, you know, after so much happens, you know what I mean, just like, maybe, you know what I mean, this is happening too much, you know what I mean, maybe this is just chill. So that was just like my mindset, you know. I just wanted to change my mindset, and I didn't really have a better idea, but I don't know what it was that clicked inside of me because, you know, I was smoking weed, whatever. But like once I made the decision, I went up to the people, talked to them. Well, actually, first I wanted to be the Marine. So I go up to the Marines. They're like, "Oh, you can't go in because you have tattoos." So I was like, "Okay." I just went next door to the Air Force, and they was closed. So then I end up at the fucking Army. So then they're like, "Oh yeah, for sure, you run this shit in. Come on, we get you in real quick."
Yeah.
They do anything to get you in. So I was like, "Bet." He was like, "You smoking weed?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, you're gonna have to quit." You know what I mean? So I'm like, "All right." So I quit smoking weed. Just boom, cold turkey. Then start smoking weed.
Probably went hard.
Nuh-uh. Like when I think back to it, I'm like, I don't know how I just cold turkey just stopped. You know what I mean? I stopped smoking and started running. Yeah, like I literally would just run, and I would time myself trying to run as fast as I could. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it was that just, you know, something just clicked, and I just went, signed the papers. 3 months later, I was out of there. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what to expect, you know, but it was, when I think back to it, I'm like, it was a fun experience. Yeah.
So if you could do it again, would you? Let's just say, for instance, you graduated high school, good. I mean, I guess no one would change, you know, what passed, right? Because it's led us to who we are now. But like, if you could do it again,
for sure, I would change other shit. I would do way better in high school because I love playing sports.
That's the same shit.
So do you think you still
bullshitting was more fun to me?
Do you think that you would still have gone to the or like chose the military route?
Yeah, I would have joined right out of high school.
Okay.
I would have tried to go there. Yeah, I would have tried to go as soon as I could. Yeah.
How long were you in the military?
6 years.
6 years, and then you were no longer in the military?
No.
Is there reasonings behind why you left? And if there are, you don't have to get into that, you know, because...
Yeah, like personal reasons, of course, yeah. Right. To do with like family and stuff, but I would have stayed in probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know...
Because I wanted to travel more, so yeah.
So where some places you traveled to?
Yeah, where'd you
Well,
get
in the
shipped
Army,
to?
they ain't take me nowhere.
No.
I didn't travel nowhere. All I did was go to North Carolina, that's it.
They never...
You just stayed there?
Yeah,
That's where
I
you're
just stayed there.
stationed?
For
all
all
6 years?
station. Yep.
Yeah.
So they never like sent you to like what's it called? Like
But
deployment, going somewhere.
Nah, but I wanted.
real?
Yeah. Well, we had a deployment, but I ended up staying back.
Right.
I ended up staying back, and I ran my section, like my motor pool. I was a diesel mechanic basically, and I ended up staying back, and they just put me in charge of the motor pool. So I was like, dope. But the reason I stayed back because I got in trouble. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting in trouble. But I ended up working my, you know what I mean? You play the cards you're dealt, you know what I mean? And shit, I played that hand like a motherfucker, you feel me? I ended up staying, you know what I mean? I ended up staying in charge and actually kind of being promoted, you know what I mean? Because at first I was just a squad leader. Then they made me a motor sergeant. So I was like, hold up, I thought I was supposed to be in trouble. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers just, you know what I mean, put me, but I wanted to go to Germany. That's what I wanted to stay in. Like, that was my whole thing. I was like, I want to go to Germany. I want to live there for a little bit. I want to see how it is out there. That's where I want to be stationed. That was my plan, but I just ended up getting out.
Right. Hey, have you ever been to Germany?
No.
Nah. So what about Germany made you want to go? Stories from people or just things you've seen on?
Yeah, like people would talk about it, this and that, but also going just living in just somewhere else.
Different country?
Yeah.
I've always been kind of like, see, I don't like to fly. I don't like to fly. I'm good off flying, but like I do, like as I'm getting older, like, I do want to experience like a different country because you hear a lot of, things like Germany. Like I've heard of Amsterdam and Spain and all these kinds of Brazil and all these types of things. It's like, man, that would be dope to go do it. And I know a few people who are in the military. One's in Japan and one's in Germany, and they're always just like saying how dope the place is and stuff like that. It's just like a whole different culture shock.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to jump out of a plane?
No.
Nah.
I was in the airborne unit, but I wasn't airborne. Yeah. Although I did want to go to airborne school.
We got a homie that he does.
Yeah, my
does.
homie Brandon. He went to the thing and they done airborne, and he's like, yeah, but we be jumping out of planes, so people be like landing, like they be breaking their legs.
Breaking their backs,
he was like my first time. His story.
Yeah.
He's like my first time walking in when we had to jump out the plane. He's like, we're walking in, people are getting carted off with broken legs and shit. You feel me? Like,
that shit, it's dangerous being airborne. It's like super played out though. It's like extinct, it's old. Like people just ain't getting shoved out of airplanes and just dropping into war zones.
He was. We were just talking about. We were just talking about the other day.
Modern warfare.
Talking about the other day. So we went and got family pictures done just a few days ago, and there was this thorn bush. And you know how sometimes you just be bullshitting, talking. I'm like, well, would you jump in the storm bush for $1 million? It's like dope belly flop, and he's all, I would do it probably. He's like, but I wouldn't jump out no airplane for no $1 million. Like I don't care.
I could bang that. I could bang that.
So it's kind of just funny to kind of how we talking about it.
No, I went to aerosol school.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
aerosol school was a little different. Like you learn to just tie shit up to basically you learn to tie shit up to a helicopter so they could pick it up and take it somewhere, and then you learn to rappel. So that was like the best part of it, because then you get to rappel out of a helicopter. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Have y'all been around a helicopter before?
Nah,
I haven't been around a helicopter.
I want to say
yeah.
I want to say
y'all ever feel like the gust?
Yeah,
like it's like,
that shit's powerful.
Like, oh yeah, man. But rappelling that was probably the best thing, because. Like at first, like you're looking out the helicopter, you know what I mean? You're looking down, and it's a ways, and then you just got to go on the rope on the edge of it, and it's like some, you know what I mean? You feel like
so you did that?
Yeah, and you just feel like, oh, I'm doing some shit now, huh? So that was like, oh, this shit hella fun, yeah. So that was dope.
To now, is there anything from the military that you maybe learned or picked up on, or because you said before you went in you wanted to like you were just bullshitting, so like you wanted to like change, right?
I just learned a lot of, I guess, adult shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably meet hella different people.
You just gotta be a certain way. You know what I mean? There's a certain standard at first, of course. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say anything crazy, but like you'll go to basic training. You know what I mean? And then that's when they're trying to erase you. You know what I mean? Erase what you are, and then they're gonna create you. You know what I mean? Recreate you into whatever, but. You're still yourself at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You leave that motherfucker. You get to your duty station, then you just start turning up. You still going to the clubs. You just at work now. But yeah, you'll go there, and it's just funny how everybody, life's different. So they'll interpret like people yelling at them differently. You get the people that would say like, "Oh, I would never go in because someone would yell at me." Like you can't be in my face. It's like if you that nigga, you don't care. Because you know what you're capable of. You know what I mean? Like he's not, you know what I mean? He's yelling at me, you know what I mean? But I know at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man myself. You know what I mean? So you just, that's how I interpreted it.
And you know what you're signing up for.
Exactly.
Like,
so it's
before you go to the military, some way, somehow, how the military, you know how it works.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if you
gonna be held
don't have a
accountable.
if you don't have a family member or whatnot, you've seen movies,
Yeah.
you've seen TV, you see how they be like.
But that's the thing.
Yes,
If you watch the
drill
movies and
sergeant,
TVs and think that's how it's gonna be, and then go in there with that mentality, it's gonna be easy for you because it ain't that hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not as hard as that. You know what I mean? I'll say. You know what I mean? I won't say it's not that hard because it is hard for some people. You know what I mean? It is. But if you go and interpret off movie stuff, then you'll go in with the different mentality. Like, oh, it's not as hard as I thought. But to some people, they don't have that mentality to where it's like they don't realize, motherfucker, you signed up for the army.
Right.
Like, what is you complaining about, bro?
Right.
Just you know what I mean? Quit fucking up. Just do what you have to do. And
there's a
move
reason
on.
why. There's a reason why you're here. You know, a lot of people who do go to the military. So some people are like, some kids when they're born, they're like, oh yeah, their dad, their
Oh, yeah,
their
there's
people
some people
behind
like
them are
that.
like
Yeah.
they are. What's the word? What's the word like when your dad and his dad and his dad, and it's like a military family or
legacy.
something like that. So like you're like a prodigy to be like
Yeah.
in the military. So some people are like, oh yeah, when I'm 18, I'm going to war and I'm doing all these things. But there's some people like after high school like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I'm going to the military. Or
Yeah.
there's some people like, I'm fucking up. I'm just doing
Yeah.
bad. I got to do something to change my life because I don't like the path I'm going down. And something that you said, how like you're like, oh, I just kind of, you know, matured and you just like grew through things through the military, but you still who you are, like you still are the same person, right? But
Yeah.
obviously your maturity levels. Me and him, again, another story. Me and him were talking about it the other day at his house. Like, it's funny seeing like older folks like our dad or whatnot and his friends like get around each other and maybe have a couple beers and them like doing goofy things. It's like that person never leaves you, but like obviously in time like you get more mature.
Yeah.
You know when you can and cannot do things, but like so it's kind of like a cool like thing that you said that because it's kind of like a reassuring thing. Like no matter how much mature we're gonna be, like we're still gonna be ourselves. But
Yeah.
it's just really there's just levels to it.
Yeah,
So
you
like it just helped you.
At the end of the day, you're just learning how to be a professional. It's just professionalism. You know what I mean? People, there's that weird stigma to where if a black man starts to talk a certain way, that he's talking white, and that's a terrible thing to do because that just because you sound educated doesn't mean you're talking white. It's not, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean it's in a joking manner. We all get it though. You know what I mean? It's not. We just have to realize that. But at the end of the day, what it was just you're learning professionalism. You're learning that when you're in a certain environment, you have to be a certain way. You know, and that's pretty much it. And that's all they're trying to teach you. You know, you gotta have to click it on, click it off, stuff like that. Because sometimes you might be in the situations where you ain't gonna be professional. You know what I mean? You're gonna be screaming at somebody.
Right.
You know, so you just have to be able to turn it on and off. So when you go to work, you're gonna be a professional. You know what I mean? When it's just us and this camera turns off, we might be a different way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So. Just imagine if they got our emails like John Gruden, you know what I mean? So it's like you snoop through my DMs, I ain't gonna be the same person you think I am. Well, maybe I might be. I don't know. So it's just you just learn to be a professional when it's time to be a professional, and then you know
You just
turn
know
it
See, a
on
lot
and
of
off.
people think that that's being fake or two-faced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People be like, oh, you're a sellout, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, shit, I don't know. You broke, so don't tell me nothing. You know what I mean?
Facts.
If you broke, you ain't finna tell me nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just I think everyone acts a different way around everybody, you know. And I think people can get confused. Like, let's say I'm talking to you guys again on camera or off camera. It's gonna be different to how I talk to the pastor, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm still who I am.
You ain't gonna talk to your manager the way you talk
right,
to your
or like my mom or my dad or whatnot. Like,
yeah.
so like I think that people just think like if they see something like another side of you, it's like, oh, so you're not the person that you were, you know. So it's I don't know. I feel like people just need to ultimately like you know who you are and again
for
I'm
sure.
you know so.
But everybody works on that every day, so it's like it's a growing thing. You know what I mean? Don't stop. Don't stop. You know, there's never a point to where you're gonna stop and be like, oh, I'm matured enough now. I stop. You know? Hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel me? You're gonna be still bullshit doing some crazy stuff, but then it's gonna be like
And
learn.
we know someone who is like, not saying no names, but they're either super high or super low, right? There's no in between. They're either just way too much extra all the time, or when they're not trying to be extra, they're just like so serious, and it's like I don't want to be around you either time, you know. Like you need to find that middle. Like it's okay
Happy
to be
medium.
you, but also like you gotta act. Not saying you have to do anything; it's your own life, but like it's cool to be you, but also know like there's just levels to the way you act and the way you
Turn
do
it on
things,
and
right?
off.
Right.
Gotta know when to turn it on and off.
But that's all they're trying to teach you, man, is professionalism at the end of the day, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's so.
All right. So how many?
but-
How long has it been since the military? Since you've been out?
It's been over a year now.
Over a
It's
year
been
now.
over a year now. But what I was gonna say is like, if you want to progress, of course, you know what I mean. It's
Right.
kind of easy because they tell you what you have to do. You know what I mean. So they tell you what you have to do. You have to do good at your PT score, which is physical training. You know what I mean. So you have to run so far and do so many push-ups and whatever. You know, get a good score. Then you shoot your weapon. You got to get a good score with that. Your marksmanship. And other stuff like school, college credits will give you points. So then you get so many points, then you have to do like a promotion ceremony type thing to where you'll go. It's like a study board, you know what I mean? To where you'll walk in a room with your blues, like your uniform, like your nice uniform, you know, with your awards and stuff. And then there'll be like higher ups sitting there and then they'll ask you certain questions. You have to do certain drilling ceremony movements, stuff like that. Sound off with like the NCO creed, just certain stuff you have to do that's Army related, you know. And then you get your points, and then you get promoted to the next thing. If you want to get promoted, it's not going to be hard. You just have to work at it. Yeah. But some people will just be stagnant and just get to a certain rank and then just stay there, you know. So
That's the thing. A lot of people are too comfortable with just being in one place. But again,
Yeah.
that's them.
Yeah,
That's
for
them.
sure.
Everyone can do whatever they want to do, but
yeah, but there's going to always be average people. Right. You know what I mean? No matter
Yeah.
what. Because even if all of us were millionaires, then the next person would be a billionaire. Yeah. And we would just be average millionaires, right? So that right there, what I was saying about getting promotion, though, was going to lead me to I'm not a school person, but I wanted to get promoted. And the way to get promoted was going to school. So I was like, man, I want to get promoted. So that right there pushed me to go to school, you know what I mean, get the college credits so then I get more points and, you know, become a sergeant and stuff. So Army ended up pushing me to go to school. You know, I ended up getting my associates in general education, though, but it's still something, you know what I mean? It's still something to hold on to, you know, for later on. And so it was a good experience, and that's what I mean. Like, it could either drive you or some people get complacent, you know, and it just teaches you professionalism. So I appreciated the Army experience for sure.
Yeah, because who knows, like, because you said you were in there for 6 years, right? You said you was messing around, like not really taking life like too serious as most kids do when they fresh out of high school and not have anything serious to do, or like have no like serious job or don't even want to work a job or anything like that. So, who knows? Like that's great.
Something different, you know, because
anything
getting out and then I came back here. You know what I mean? Like I got out of Army, came back here, and really, I was on the other side of the country. So all you see is what you see on social media, what people tell you when you talk to them on FaceTime, on the phone, whatever, on the text, you know. But then when you come back, it's like, damn, y'all not doing as good as I thought type shit. You know
everybody the same as I was 6 years ago.
Exactly. And that's the scary part. You know what I mean? And that's what's crazy is because being over there, I had a lot more relationships with people here. But now that I'm here, I don't. I have like none. You know what I mean? So that's the crazy part. It's like when I was away, I had a lot of relationships, you know what I mean? But the crazy part is to come back and then they kind of dwindle off because the people aren't really who you thought they were or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then that's one aspect of kind of being away from home. And it takes me to my point is that I think, you know, a lot of kids should go straight to the Army. You know, I think they should. Like one contract, that's like 3 years, you know, 3 to 4 years, something like that. You'll be 21, 22. You know what I mean? At that point, you have plenty of life left. You already got something to lean back on. You know, if you want to go to school. At that point, you have something that'll pay for you. You know what I mean? At this point, you don't have to pay for the kids that you know what I mean are tripping off of, you know what I mean, whatever they. And sometimes you can get a job for them, and they'll just pay for it. You know what I mean? So
housing, all that type of shit.
But that's certain kids, not all kids. You know what I mean? Not every kid, of course. That's just kind of my thought. That's just kind of my thought on it, though.
I think if I could go back, I think I would have joined the military. There was one time in my life where I was probably maybe 20 years old, and I was just going through some stuff in my own personal life, just being down, depressed, and just like not like enjoying the life that I was living. And I kid you not, a week straight, there's the Marines, the Air Force, Army, Navy, and all that in a little place right by La Unica. So for a week straight, I pulled up, sat in the parking lot, and just said, okay, today's the day you need to get out of the car and go do it. And I never did it because I was fighting. I was in between that and San Diego, either that or San Diego. I might have been actually a little older than 20. I might have been like 21, 22. And I ultimately chose San Diego just because I thought like, oh, man, if I go to the military, I'm stuck. But I think that as you get older, I'm 25, like I still feel young.
You realize the time passes fast.
Exactly.
Like
Time,
those years,
time goes by
those
so
years were
quick.
really nothing.
That would have been nothing. If anything, it would have been like a learning experience, a growing experience. Maybe I would have liked it. Maybe I would have enjoyed it. Maybe something. So like, I've never gone, but like, if I could do that again, I would definitely have joined again. Because again, like structure, right? Like just to.
You just learn that professionalism like
Right.
a quicker way. You know what I mean? So that's the key thing. That professionalism that'll take you a long way. Like at any job, I mean, you can work anything. If you're a professional in any situation, it's going to take you a long way.
That's why they yell in your face and shit. It's so
Yeah,
that
so
you can be
just
calm
so-
in
yeah.
manner and like be able to take that if you go work a job and things like that, or even if that happens like in life, you feel me? If someone like
Just
a
high stress
random guy, you
environments.
feel me?
Just
On a regular
To
basis.
get you out of
or
like just being calm, just try to, you feel me?
stay cool, calm, and collected. Know what you got to do and get it done.
Military. The military is dope. I do got 2 boys. Yeah, being a dad is different. You know what I mean? Being a dad is way different because I don't know. I didn't have a dad growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right there with you.
But I did meet him when I was 16. So he was, because he was, locked up for like 13, something like that. He ended up getting out. Then I ended up meeting him a little bit later. But that it really didn't really change much because I was already who I was. I felt like at that point, I wasn't even at the house. Like I was out the house at that age. You know what I mean? So trying to be a dad and trying to teach somebody that never taught you things is probably the hardest part. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the hardest part for me.
Do you enjoy it? You like fatherhood?
To be honest, it's not for me.
Nah.
It's not for me. But I work on being a good father all the time. You know what I mean? Just because it's not for me doesn't mean I can't be good at it.
You had your kids while you were deployed.
Not deployed.
No,
but
I was just stationed at
Or
Fort Bragg,
stationed,
but I had one while I was in Fayetteville, which is where I was stationed, Fort Bragg, and another one was in Texas.
Okay.
So they moved you from North Carolina so you ended up going to Texas.
Nah. When I got out, I moved to Texas.
You went straight to Texas.
Yeah, I went straight to Texas. I didn't want to come back to Cali.
What made you go to
Yeah.
Texas? Why Texas?
I wanted to go to Texas because I didn't want to go back to Cali. But then you know what I mean. I had to go to Cali because of my kids. So it was like, all right, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Got locked back in.
Yeah. So I ended up coming back to Cali and shit. Now I'm here, man. You know what I mean.
So since being back, so something that I've kind of just from just following you and seeing things that you post, I see that you're doing like, correct me if I'm wrong, crypto, like you're buying and like you're mining.
Well, no, I don't really do the crypto like that, but I for sure do stocks.
So what do you?
and
So all right,
options
so
and stuff
stocks.
like
That's
that.
what I wanted to say was stocks. So what made you? Or before I even get into that, after the military, what did you think? Like, what's next for me? Like, so before I even get into that.
So that's the thing. I didn't have a solid plan. I didn't have a solid plan at all.
After the military?
Yeah, after the military, I didn't have a solid plan at all. I just knew I was locked in. You know what I mean? And I knew I could go to school again. That's all I knew. And I was like, so that's for sure what I'm gonna do. I gotta go to school when I get out, at the least. You know what I mean? I could have went and got a job being like a security manager or something like that. Just finding work. But really, I wanted to do something to where it would be me, kind of just learning the ropes for myself, try to how to make money. You know what I mean? Passive income type stuff. And that's basically where my mindset kind of has gone.
Okay.
And that's why I started the stocks things. You know what I mean? First, I started trading stocks, like day trading, and then after that, I started doing options. And then options, you make money a lot more faster. Yeah.
See, I'm not too gamed on that. I have a buddy of mine who tried to like put me on game, but I really couldn't like comprehend. Like he was speaking a foreign language to me. That's so I just know like I have one stock. My grandpa was like, "Hey, it's a really good stock. Put money into it." So I put money into it, and now I just let it grow.
Yeah.
I just let it grow and do its thing. But I'm not too gamed on it. So if you can do in a long story short, like make it brief, if for the people who are interested, and maybe I know a few people.
Well, if you want to make like it's risky, is doing options. You know what I mean? Like
So what is options and what is?
You buy a contract. I'm not gonna get into details or anything.
Well,
Like,
that's what I'm
crazy,
saying,
but it's basically it's like you're buying 100 shares of one stock.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But at like a contract, like a cheaper price. You know what I mean? that's why it's so risky because it'll fluctuate fast. You know what I mean? You could buy a contract for 500, like in 5 minutes, like in an instant, it could be up 500, or you could be down half your money type stuff. You know what I mean? It's quick like that. That's how day trading is as well. It's quick, so it's hard not going into detail going into detail about it, but
more for people who are like, do you recommend it? Like, is this something
I recommend investing for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? But maybe not day trading or options because that's a little bit different.
That's what I need to do. I'm trying to invest my money. I want my money to make more money.
Yeah,
'Cause I stack
You
my
have to.
shit, but I need to invest it. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to I'm getting into maybe like flipping cars or something. I'm just trying to do something, and you feel me on the side.
You gotta put your money somewhere to where it'll grow. With,
Otherwise, it's just gonna sit in a safe.
Yeah, but it'll be worth less. It'll be worth less because what happens is inflation, of course. So if your money's sent somewhere just still, then it's not growing with inflation.
Yeah.
So your money has to be something that's gonna grow with inflation. That's basically what
correct?
stocks. No, not really, because your return is gonna be so low. It's gonna be so minimal. And that's why I was so like when I joined the Army, me and this dude, we went to our sergeant told us, you know what I mean? You guys, I remember we went to this like little meeting or whatever, and then they were telling us about our like a savings plan or retirement, basically. You know what I mean? Only me and this other dude went and did it on the computer or whatever. I didn't even know what I was really doing at the time. You know what I mean? And then what I ended up doing is you basically just start a retirement plan, and you set up an allotment, and it just takes so much money out of your check each month. And it just goes to your retirement, basically. And that's what I did when I first joined the Army. But, like, I didn't really comprehend at the time. And I put, usually, I think it recommended something like 5% of your check. But then I was like, if they recommend 5%, shit, I'm going to do 10% then. You know what I mean? I'm going to double that. Yeah. So then I ended up doing, so they was taking like 10% out of every single check I ever got while I was in the Army. And then so that money ended up going to the side. And that was a retirement right there. And then that's why I always recommend, like, if you have a retirement with your job, then have a retirement of your own. That's why you need to learn stocks and invest. And you can learn dividend stocks, which they'll pay you, you know what I mean, for how many stocks you have. And then it'll grow like that. And then you have your own retirement to where you'll have a greater return, because a lot of times those retirement plans, they ain't going to give you a return, you know what I mean, that you really want.
So is investing something you think you're gonna do for basically for the rest of your life? Is that something you wanna...
I mean, once you invest, you're invested for life. You feel me? Like once you put money into start a portfolio, you ain't gonna just stop.
Do you think that you're gonna go and, because I have one stock, but like I'm not too, like, it doesn't really intrigue me, the stocks. It just seems like a lot. I think it's no matter what you invest in, it's gonna be a lot, right? There's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot to learn.
I'm not gonna kick it. But like I am interested in doing real estate just because, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of more my thing.
Dope.
Is real estate something in your futures? Is that something you ever think about, or you think you're kind of stuck on the stock type of game? And
real estate, no. I don't think that's for me.
Okay.
I don't think real estate is for me. That's for like the sharks. You feel me? Yeah, I'm not a shark like that. Like, not saying that real estate people are sharks or anything. You feel me? It's just the fact that you have to have a large network, like a really large network, to where basically everybody in this room would have to only go to you to buy a house. You feel me? Because how often would somebody buy a house?
Well, so
you know what I mean. So the next time they buy a house, it ain't gonna be within the next year. So you just missed that sale right there. So
I mean, like buying and flipping, buying and renting, buying in Airbnbs or some stuff like that as well. Not necessarily just being a realtor, but like,
I mean, yeah, that's dope.
Or do you think the whole game? You think the whole game
I
itself
think
is like not for you? You think?
No, not all of it, not for me. You know what I mean? But I think it would work for someone like you for sure, man. It would work. Yeah. It's good, definitely good money right now. You know what I mean? Houses are through the roof. You feel me? So
it's definitely something I've been thinking about. It's crazy. It's like something about me, man. I've never known what I wanted to do. I truly have never known. And over like the last year, I've kind of got like a better idea of what type of work I would like to do. And I mean, the podcast is along those lines. I mean, we don't bring in income, and if we never do, that's totally fine. But like, having a company, having a business is like something that I've always wanted to do. So like now this is like beginning. So this can come into something, then beautiful. But like also, how else can I build off of this? What else can I do? like networking, you know, like we want to network where people get our name out there. So if we want to do real estate, or if someone's out like, hey, you should really look into, you know, stocks. Okay, well, I need you to teach me, and like sitting down. Like, I guess networking is a good thing to like for other people in your area or around the area or whatnot to like, you know, build like a good like team, you know, and just like put good people around you.
But people need to teach us this stuff when we're growing up. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
that's
this needs to
Talk
be
about this shit last
That's what we
episode.
talked about in our last episode.
I seen that.
Why you know, why do you think they
like
taught
they
us?
teach it in schools and stuff
exactly.
like that? Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, most definitely they do. Parents do, and it's not.
I feel like our parents don't even know.
Personally, I don't think it's on the schools. I think it's on the parents.
You think all of our parents know, or everybody's parents do know?
I wouldn't say all the parents know, because just because you're older doesn't mean you're smarter. You know what I mean? So a lot of people may not know, but that still doesn't give you the right to be ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, you might be older, so that's just more reason you need to learn to be able to teach your kids. You know what I mean? Or tell them at least, like, this is how this is going to be. You need to set this up and do this, and this. You know? So you could blame the schools, but at the same time, you got to raise your own kids. You know? And it's like. Am I blaming my mom for not telling me? Shit, maybe. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know now, so I can teach my boys.
What was your number one resource of learning all of these things? Like, have you heard of YouTube University, right? YouTube. You look up anything on YouTube,
bro.
boy.
Crazy, bro.
YouTube will teach you anything.
Anything, bro.
Crazy.
Anything. And it's really just having the time and the patience. So I know when I did my first vlog, of Big Brothers vlog, I was telling Josiah, like, bro, like, what do I do? And we were like, because before the vlog, like, we were discussing, like, the mics, everything, right? The whole setup. Like, bro, I don't no idea what I'm doing, so I need, you know, your help. So for the vlogs, he was like, all right, it's going to take a long time to do it, but you just got to watch videos, bro. I would watch videos, 5-minute vlog, bro, 5-minute vlog, but I have 80 videos recorded. It's an hour long. So how to cut it up, bro. YouTube, I sat there on YouTube for a couple hours and was like, all right, so each time I would exit out of this, go over here, do that. I'm just like, after the first video, like, I recorded it wrong. I might have done some things wrong, but it was like, damn, that shit's dope. Like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, I'm gonna do it again, you know? Like, so YouTube is what
YouTube
was
the
what
main
did it.
source of
Yeah, YouTube be
information,
teaching
man.
me some
Yeah,
things
yeah.
too.
Shit crazy.
We even got an uncle that became a welder, and he learned how to weld off YouTube. He got a job as a welder
You can learn
before.
almost anything, man. Like,
Crazy.
I started working on cars a lot. You know what I mean?
But didn't you say in the military you were a diesel mechanic?
Yeah, but that didn't really teach me shit. You know what I mean? So
How long
I'll
did
be
you?
honest.
How come you didn't you know
Be a mechanic.
be
That
a
out.
diesel mechanic when you
I ain't
came
trying
in?
to bust my knuckles, man. I trying to bust my knuckles.
No,
on
I
it.
hear you, I
Yeah,
hear you.
I'm good off that.
But did that set you up though to actually get a job as a diesel mechanic when you?
I mean,
get,
yeah, I could.
Were you
get a
able?
job as
Like,
a
is that
diesel
capable?
mechanic right now if I wanted to? Yeah.
Just because I was wondering, because
I definitely don't want to. Though,
right,
bro.
right. Because I just know people in the military who do things that I wonder after the military. Some people they don't do nothing. So, what about the job you were doing in there? Can you take
Yeah.
that and come out here and,
Most
and
definitely.
apply it and actually
Yeah.
do it? Okay.
Because they got people at Human Resources. Like, they can go work at fucking DMV.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they got people. Everybody is doing a job in the army. So everybody's not just running in with guns, but kicking down doors and shit. You know what I mean? They got people doing paperwork. They got people working on trucks. They got people filling trucks. They got fillers. They got all sorts of stuff. They got
Yeah. That's
You get to pick what you want to do.
water
yeah, that's
purifiers.
yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
it's
I
crazy
never
stuff.
I think you have to take a test, right?
You get to pick
Well,
what you want to
you
do.
take a test, and then based off the test and the event, they'll have certain jobs available based on your scores. Yeah.
If your shit's hella low, they just throw you in the field with it.
Yeah, basically.
That's some
but
shit right there.
that job still has to be available, so you might have a good score and then be able to choose from these jobs, but you know what I mean, they might not be available because a lot of people in the army already have that job. You know,
you
like they don't.
lower other jobs.
Like there's certain because you don't have to have too much of this. You know what I mean? You have to keep the jobs balanced.
Balanced,
Yeah. So that's how it is.
all right, man.
But I want to ask. So you have family out here?
Fuck, bro. Like, I've been like I said, born and raised out here my whole life. So yeah, like my whole basically both everybody. Like my mom's side and my dad's side both grew up out here.
Oh,
So
damn.
yeah, hell yeah.
No, because I'm like, damn, this got a brother on the podcast. And then it's like, you born and raised in Yuba City, so it's like, dang, there's not a lot of black people out here.
Hell no, there ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like I was like one of the only few,
Yeah,
like
brother on the
one of the
podcast.
only few brothers on like in my whole school all the way up until high school. And then high school, I think we had like
What school did you go to?
River Valley, like middle school or
Okay, River Valley.
yeah. For high
So
school.
how's the experience of, because you've only lived out here, right?
For the most part, yeah. Like lived out here. Like I was in Georgia for a little bit, like visiting my grandparents for like a month, like my sophomore year. But that wasn't like nothing crazy like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
but
No, how's the experience of being black in Yuba City though?
it's
Would
not.
you say anything? You notice anything different? Would you feel any type of way any times?
I feel like I was always able to make friends. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere I went.
Yeah.
So it was always. I don't know. I never looked at race or anything like that like it was a big deal. Like there was only a handful of times where I got like into like some issues like that. But for the most part, in middle school, I had hella Indian partners, hella Mexican partners, hella like there wasn't even many black people. So I can't even say hella black partners. But when I got to high school, right? When I got to high school and I seen other black people, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Slid over there and was kicking it with them, and all my other like most of my other homies would be like, damn, like. What the hell, bro? You're switching up. I'm like, bro, it's the first time I'm around people who are like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
I get to go kick it with them, and only a handful of them. But for the most part, like, I got family and cousins out here still. So, like, I've always been just, like, around family and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, other than that, then I met them. Like, I met him when I was in 7th grade, and then it's just been us. And then Isaiah, our other brother who we had on the podcast last episode. But it was like,
They'll be out Thursday.
yeah, the
Thursday.
three of us. It was like the three of us from like 7th grade on. It was the three of us rocking, so I didn't even have to worry about hell other people or anything like that because it was always me, him, and then Isaiah. So
And a reason why I would say that like we are.
No, it's funny because I grew up with. That's what I'm saying. I grew up with Hispanic, so it was like that's just how it is.
And I would say the reason why, so kind of how he said when he got into high school, like some of my friends were like, damn, bro, you're switching up. Like, I think what kept all of us so close is that the way we grew up around everything, right? We grew up around it all, you know. Everybody, like David, Esco, you, even our own little partners as kids, like on the neighborhood or going to softball parks. So, like, we grew up, there's a word, and for some reason I'm drawing a blank, but we can do it all. We could talk it all. We can do it all. We can be it all. And just like, so I think that's something that's always bonded all of us because, like, we all know how each other work. And it ain't like, oh, what? Like, you just did that? Like, oh, that's, you know, so it's always just been, if anything, we've been like the crazier ones, you know. If anything, we've been like, I don't know, like, we've always just bonded super, super well with everybody. Like, that's the thing I like about us. We bonded.
multicultural type
Right.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So it's always been good. So that's funny. That's funny you said this, like, oh, yeah, brother on the podcast. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're rocking and it's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, dang, is there more black people out there?
Not really. Like, actually, now there is because a lot of people coming from SAC. So like Yuba City is getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, a lot of people are migrating down.
Yeah.
See new faces all the time.
All the time. I see hella black people in the mall. I be working at Foot Locker, so I'm like, the hell? Like, I've been here my whole life. I ain't never seen you before.
I know
What the
every
hell?
black person in this town. Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
Yuba City ain't too little though.
No.
Yuba City's
Well, no.
man, it's getting-
The thing about Yuba City is little.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in a little town. That's what it is, yo.
I guess, yeah. I didn't think about it that way.
That's
Yeah,
how.
it's not much.
That's how I think of it. Like, it's a little town. Like, it ain't growing. Like, where has it grown? You know what I mean? Marysville's still over the bridge. Sutter's still there. You know what I mean?
gonna
Shit, them
take
KB homes. I guess that shit. You feel me?
And that was when
that
I
was
was
a long time ago.
That was my middle school, like 7th,
Yeah,
8th
my
grade year when I
homeboy
was
used to
over
live
there.
over there,
So I
yeah.
had some homies over there too.
Ugh.
We actually talked about the KB homes on the
Yeah, man.
last
Yeah,
pod.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's where I was going over there and all these, you know, doing crazy ass shit, throwing rocks and shit at people's houses. You know, I'm like, so we like brought that culture over there. KB home was like, we don't know what's going on over here. This is supposed to be a new neighborhood, and all these little ass bad kids running around doing all these things. It's like, man, we just grew up on another side of town. And
Yeah, that Walmart right there used to be 24 hours, boy.
Yeah.
Shit. We used to be at the KB homes. We walk over there like 2 in the morning and shit, run through that motherfucker. Like, run it up. 3 in the morning, ain't nobody in here.
crazy. That's
This been
crazy.
a while. So I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah.
You going to the J. Cole concert though, yeah?
Yep. Tonight.
This the only concert you ever been to?
No, I've been to what?
Stop moving.
Oh, my fault.
This shit
I'm
keeps
messing
cutting-
it up.
It keeps cutting out.
My bad, shit. But I've been to a John Mayer concert before with my mama. That's her dude. You know who John Mayer is?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like an alternative. You know who John Mayer is?
I know his name, but I can't.
I know that sounds familiar.
I can't see his
I must know,
face.
like, a
I
song
can't
or
hear
two
the song.
or something.
I can't. Yeah, I'm thinking of
I'm not
somebody
gonna
else.
sing
I
no
think.
song for y'all either. But
John
I feel like if
Mayer,
I
you
heard
got like the
I
brown
guarantee
fluffy
it.
hair?
I want to
Or was that? What's his name?
I think so. He played
He
guitar
was
and
on
shit like
he was
that.
on Dave Chappelle's show.
He might have been, bro, because
Yeah.
I ain't really watched Dave Chappelle. I ain't gonna lie like that.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah. So I went to a
he
John.
song. He wrote this one song.
He was also on
for Travis Scott. It was called
with Kevin Hart and Will.
what was it called?
Will
Astro
Ferrell.
Thunder, I think. But,
Maybe.
Get Hard.
Yeah.
He was singing a song about Will Ferrell. You ever seen Get Hard with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell?
Kevin Hart. Oh yeah.
Get Hard. He's on that as well. He's singing a song about Will Ferrell, how like he like
Yeah, I know
embezzled
you
money.
talking-
He's all singing something. So
Yeah.
that's
So
that's
John
John Mayer
Mayer.
right there. All right.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
went to
yeah.
one of his concerts with my mom, and I forgot how old I was, but that was like amphitheater, like Wheatland and shit. Went to that, and then that's really like it. Honestly, I think I went to like an SOB concert type shit with my girl or whatever. You feel me? But other than that, not so like this is like for a concert that I've actually because I like John Mayer, but at the time it's not like my mom was like, come on, here's a concert, let's go. And I'm like, Mom, bro, like I don't want to go see John Mayer.
John Mayer.
You know what I'm saying? So, but now it's like finally a first concert that I actually like want to really go see because it's
Looking forward to.
Yeah, it's been my favorite artist for
a minute. No,
all
the best
time,
rapper right now.
all time, bro.
Y'all been to a concert?
I've been to a couple concerts. I've been to Luke Bryan 2 times, and I ain't gonna lie. Like we grew up listening again. Like we grew up we do it all. We grew up listening to rap music, to oldies, to the R&B and
We'd
B.
be in our car with Pops, listen to Pac, and then be in our mom's car,
listen to country. So like, I'm more like I like this side more, right? But like I like country music. Like some music is good. So like,
See, I'm right there with you.
bro, I can't. I be fucking with country.
I ain't grow
You
up
see
to
me?
that.
I got my boots on today. Like you know what I'm saying?
R&B,
So it's
yeah,
cool.
rap,
So like, yeah, I've
that's
been to that.
Oldies, yeah.
I've been to a country concert twice, and then just when I moved back from San Diego, like that first month, I went to a Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Warren G concert. The difference is night and day. I was in that thing. I just drink. I was like just having a great old time. You know, I had some Bud Lights in me. I was just like enjoying the night. You know, it was popping. So I definitely want to go to like J. Cole is probably one of my favorite artists as well, and he's probably the one who put me on to J. Cole and really got me listening to him.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, probably. So like again, like
Cole. Cole one of my favorite.
he's
rappers,
cold.
so
Yeah, some of the things he be saying, I'm just like, I'll be sitting there thinking like, bro, what did he like? He says things, I'm just like,
J. Cole like that.
yeah. See, you don't like J. Cole, so
I
like,
don't like it. No. That sounds like I'm a hating. I just don't slap him like
He said
that.
that sound like you see. It's
Yeah,
different.
So I guess I
didn't
could
say
say the
I
same
like
thing
him.
about Drake. Like
He has some cool shit that
Drake is
dude.
popping, but I do not slap Drake. There might be a few songs
listen
out
to
there that
Drake.
I might like, but like I do not be slapping Drake like that. Like I'm not a big
saying. I
fan
barely
of him,
slap
but I'm not
Drake.
hating on him though, because
yeah.
obviously he's one of the
Nah, he
probably
be
the
snapping, he be
greatest, you
tripping.
know. But like he just ain't for me, you know. So I can understand when he says about J. Cole, like he just ain't for me, you know. But yeah, that Warren G and Snoop Dogg and I was popping. So like, I definitely want to go to the J. Cole concert. I know Dirk and like Herb and them. Like I'll be listening to them. So I know actually Herb was about to tell you Herb's coming to San Francisco in November next
and I was
month.
like, man, do I go see her, bro?
Might have
What?
yeah. Like you like Herb?
Have a raw
He
wave,
cool,
no
he
cap
cool.
too.
You like Dirk?
I'm 50-50 with Herbo.
What about Dirk?
Dirk cool.
Dirk go crazy.
So what music do you like? What's your number one? What's your go to right now? You put something on in the car to drive home. What you listening to?
Man, I listen to all sorts of stuff, man.
You like No Cap?
No Cap? I don't listen to No Cap.
Were you the one that said that in the comments? I think you was, huh?
Which one?
Oh yeah.
He said he was in that tight.
Hell yeah, he's like, I was
Oh,
like, No Cap
hold on.
ain't even that tight.
Hey. And he also said, man, he ain't never watched Hardball. You got to get on about that. He's tripping,
Yeah,
huh?
Hardball, that's a go-to, man. That's a go-to.
Tripping, right?
I just
Really in the trenches right there. You know?
That was for real.
heart-wrencher.
He got a turtle when we were
That
little.
shit broke my heart.
And he named the turtle G Baby.
G-Baby.
So whenever so G Baby ended up leaving. I don't know, how does the turtle get up and walk away, right? You know, but anyways, whenever we go to Hawaii, we see these big old turtles that come onto the thing. We call him G Baby right there. Like so, we're always seeing like he coming back, like he's resurrected. He's back, you know. So we'll see him for that time being. We might see 5 of them, but it's all G Baby, you know. But yeah, you gotta get on. You gotta watch Hardball. There's a lot of movies, man. I'm a big movie guy. I'm a big movie guy. Like on a rainy day like this, man, catch me in my house. You wanna know what I'm doing? I'm at home and I'm watching movies, you know. So that's my go-to right there is watching movies.
Well, you know, J. Cole, he had put that HBO special out. Oh, it's like kind of like a movie, I guess. But did you ever see that?
I'm trying to think
The
of which.
it was for the Forest Hills Drive.
I might.
Yeah, he had an HBO special.
I don't know. I don't think so. I might have to go. Is it still on there?
It's on YouTube.
Then I think I did see it. Yeah, if I could just on YouTube, because I'm about to say I saw something on YouTube. Yeah,
This was back in 2017. It was from For Your Eyes Only. That one. Is that
it was
it?
Forest Hills Drives. Yeah,
Forest
it was
Hills?
no, it's Forest Hills Drives. Yeah,
he's probably done a couple then. Shit.
yeah. But that's that.
It's a documentary?
I've been to one. Yeah, I've been to one concert. That was the one I went to.
Jermaine,
Yeah,
you liked
to the
it?
J. Cole concert. Yeah.
Was it for the 2014?
Yeah.
Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah, that was in Fayetteville, man. And
Yep.
that shit was
'cause
lit.
yeah.
And that's what I was talking about, the HBO special. I only been to one concert. You feel me?
And
I
it was
only been
that
to
one?
And it's that one.
Oh, man.
And I didn't even know what I was walking into. You feel me? So it was like I didn't know it was gonna be HBO special, so it was gonna be all like hyped up and all that. So I go and I'm like, okay, dope. He got his people before him. Who was it, like YG, which we didn't even see because we got there a little bit later, and then Jeremiah, and then it was Cole, I think, or somebody. Oh, Big Sean, and then Cole, then so.
My fault. I was just asking a
No,
question.
then Cole. So then Cole came out, and then he's doing his songs, and he's like, I'm gonna perform the whole album. You know what I mean? So he performs the whole album. Plus he did some older tracks. You feel me? So then it goes to the end, and he's like, all right, y'all, blah, blah, blah. It gets to the end, and then he acts like he dips. So he dips out for a little bit, and like a minute later, he comes back out, and he's like, oh, I'm just fucking with y'all, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I couldn't do that to my city because, he's from Fayetteville, Vietnam. So, boom, he's like talking bullshit, like, I couldn't do you like that. And then, boom, that's when, this is when Energy was popping with Drake. Mm-hmm. And you brought Drake up, and it was like,
that's probably one of my. I don't like that one. That's a hit.
And then
that's a legend.
And then the beat started,
Energy,
you feel me? And so it was like,
energy.
it was like, what the hell is the beat started, you feel me? And then Drake started coming out, bro. Like the whole, like you could feel
Shit
the
got
floor
fired up.
shaking,
That's
bro.
wild,
Like you
yeah.
could feel you could just feel everything just moving, bro. It was crazy. And it was just going crazy. And then he performed Energy, you know what I mean? And then he was just like, I had to come out here for Cole, blah, blah, blah. And then he dipped, you know what I mean? And then here comes Jay-Z. And then Jay-Z came out. I was like, yo, that's a legend, you feel me? Like, that's a mogul right there, you know what I mean? Who ever seen Jay-Z perform type shit, you know? So I was like, damn, I was like, that was the only concert I ever been to, bro. And I ain't never going to another one. I'm like, that's it.
One and done.
Top that.
I had a good experience.
Top that.
Exactly.
Experience.
Drizzy, Jermaine.
I watched the HBO special, bro. I was getting goosebumps. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like,
That's wild.
it was lit.
I was gonna ask you who's on because I totally forgot you go to a concert. There's people under him. Who else is?
Know that shit. I think he got 21 and probably Boz opening for him.
Yeah.
I think this time
21.
21.
They're gonna play. What the fuck is that? That's gonna go hard in there.
We gonna play his album.
We just showed him the song with the 21 and then Herbo and then Dirt.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that shit goes
That's
hard.
the hit, right? Huh?
So if Dirk come out, that'd be crazy, yeah.
I'll be upset.
Wow.
I'll be
I think it's his birthday today.
Hmm?
It's his birthday today or yesterday.
I'm upset. I'll be
Where's it
upset.
at? It's in Sac?
Oakland.
Oh, it's in Oakland?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be thinking about.
And what
damn, I
tour
should've
is this
went.
called? Which one's this?
I think this is like the one for the album. So what's the name of this album again?
I don't want to say For Your
It's
Eyes.
not For Your Eyes.
I know. I just saw that's why I'm. What's
Man,
it
I'm
called?
tripping right now. I'm drawing a
For
blank.
real.
So am I.
This
drawing
is
a
your
blank.
partner. But
Yeah, bro, this is on you.
your
Bro.
partner.
Oh, shit. Oh,
J.
shit.
Cole,
Off-season.
off season, yeah.
Off-season.
Oh, okay,
Off-season.
okay. Off season.
That's a hit. Honestly, did you listen to the album? Like, are you?
Yeah.
There was one song. So like, my biggest thing, bro, like with music, like I'm not the biggest music guy, but like I have to listen to a song like 2 times to like really hear what he said. So that's my thing. But
Yeah.
there was one song.
Well, yeah, when you listen to J. Cole, you got to. You got to listen
Right.
like 3-4 times because
Hidden
you
bars in
gonna
that
miss
thing.
you gonna miss a punch.
So there was
You know what I mean?
there was one song. I think it was the one with it talks about Dennis Amar. I think it's Amari maybe.
Oh, man.
I was in the shower and I had a slap on the speaker, and bro, I saw everything in my head. I was like, "This is great." I must have called myself, "Yep, this is my favorite one on the album." I think 'cause I heard everything he said. Like I actually heard it and I saw it. I was like, "Dude, this guy. No one else does this to me." That's why I would say like he's probably one of my absolute favorites because like he makes me think. Like he makes me like really like get deep with my own self. I was like, man, that's crazy. That's the shit that I love right there about that.
Yeah. He for surely top. You know what I mean? That's why I always say he was the best rap to me. He was the best rapper. Because there's not a lot of like theatrics. You know what I mean? It's just him spitting. You know, I feel like with Kendrick there would be some theatrics to it. You know, I don't really like that. And people would be like, "Dang, you're from Cali," you know? Because I was in North Carolina, and I'd be talking about this, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're from Cali. You don't like Kendrick Lamar more?" And I'd be like, "Nah,
Hell no.
I like Cole more."
I'm not even a too big fan of Kendrick Lamar, to be honest. Like, there's a couple things from back in the days, but like, I don't have not one Kendrick song in my library, you know. So
Now what?
No, I do. I for sure do.
You
Me,
ain't got nothing off
he
the
got-
Good Kid,
he
Mad
got-
City?
I
He
don't.
got- he-
I don't.
Yeah, he be tripping.
There's some old stuff, but like
he ain't over Cole. I can't
ain't
put him
Jermaine,
over Cole.
yeah,
I
I'm,
can't put him
again,
over
I'm not
Cole.
speaking on him. You know, like I just seen him in Power. I don't know if you watch Power.
No, I don't watch.
So
Power,
I just see him in Power a couple months ago, and like he saw, hey, Poppy tell 50 Cent, like he just hella funny. I was like, you know, I'm gonna stop a Kendrick Lamar song, you know. But like, I just don't personally have his music in my phone. But like, if I ever like ran across a song I liked, I'd probably like download it. But like, I never gone out of my way to go like put him in my phone just because I don't want to think about him like that. I don't know. I listen to J. Cole, you know.
Yeah, I don't really go out of my way like that to go slap Kendrick. Or I'm not anticipating like a Kendrick drop or ever like that. Like I'm waiting for Jermaine.
Yeah.
As soon as the last album came out, what's the next one? Where's the extended version?
Yeah.
Or like the deluxe. I need it. You know what I'm saying?
What's his best album so far?
Jermaine's? Oh, that's a hard one. I be asking that with my homies too. Like him and Drake, we be going back and forth. They're like, what's their best albums? But damn. So far, I gotta look him up. Hold on. We gonna have to put them all up in order.
I already know mine. Mine's Born Center.
You think?
Like-
that's what a
like,
lot of people be saying.
Mine's
I
Born
can't.
Center. Like, that's crazy to me, man. That right there just paints a whole picture. You know what I mean?
And that's
Oh.
like
Is
you
that
got
the one
like
he-
20-something songs, like 22 songs on there, I think. Yeah, and that's top to bottom. There's not many skips.
It's different because I just feel like it's just different, man. Like every song is specific.
Yeah.
It's like a specific topic, and it's like he just killing
Land
it,
of the
man.
Snakes, Power Trip, okay.
That's hard.
Rich,
though. Is it
Pretty
better than
Small.
2014?
Like Mo Money,
My Money's a banger.
I remember I got my first.
Chaining Day.
I remember
Like,
when I got my first check when I started working at electricity, and my check was like fat. I remember just having like the stack sound. I was all Mo Money. That's like the song I recorded it with. You know, I was like, yeah, this is the perfect one right here. For
real,
it was around that time, yeah.
That was my favorite album. Forest Hills Drive is crazy too, though. You know what I mean? But it just
Born
don't
Center might be
resonate with
better.
me that well.
Right.
Like,
No, that's what I'm saying.
well, it does, but it's just
Some songs
Born
just
Center
hit.
was just
Some
like,
songs just hit different. Like this last album is probably not my favorite one, but like this album, like I comprehended. Like it just sat really well. Like I just like painted a picture with it of every song.
I feel like, I don't know, his best bars are like on, what's it called, Off Season, I think. Like, he's,
I wouldn't say that. I would say
I feel like he's growing up more as a rapper on Off Season. Like, he's getting towards his peak in the Off Season. Born Center, he's still young, Cole. He got bars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he doesn't, but I don't know, because that's hard, because Born Center is like
for
damn
me,
near his most complete
it's
take.
just the like the message and intent behind each song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just different. That's why I like it so much.
I can't disagree with that.
Like every song just has like a specific. Seems like it has an intent and specific topic. You feel me? Like Chaining Day. You know what I mean? Like you go buy a new chain. Like why? You know what I mean? It's materialistic. Blah blah blah.
Right.
More money. You know what I mean? What else? What else in there? I mean, Born Center just talking about sinning, whether it's just out on the streets or on your girl sinning. You know what I mean? Some stuff like just
All
every
types
song
of
got a
shit.
specific topic that is just like okay.
Right.
And he just rides with it. That's why I like it that much.
That's why he's a good. That's why he's a good artist because stuff he talks
Everything
about,
he
man.
dropped is a
Yeah,
classic.
It's good.
Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything
That's what
he
I'm saying.
dropped.
That's what I'm saying. It's like shit. Forest Hills Drive, like that's one of my favorites right there. Though.
Yeah.
Like, that's honestly one of my favorites. I
That's
went,
one of
I
the
went
most-
and bought the hard copy. Like we don't even listen to these. I was like, I want to
know.
hold on to this right here.
Yeah.
I want to buy this. Yeah.
So
I
I,
bought it.
I want to transition this into rate the tape. Right. That's what you're
Oh,
doing now.
okay,
That's
yeah.
that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing you do on a daily basis. So rate the tape. Explain to the people who don't know who Rate the Tape is, what Rate the Tape is, and how
What it's about.
and how you got
Rate
into
the
it.
Tape, Rate the Tape is a Raider fan that watches film, will put it up for other fans that want to watch film on their team, seeing who's doing right, who's doing wrong. You know what I mean? Also, just somebody that they could relate with or something like that, or just chat with. You know what I mean? I got my podcast kind of like, yeah, you guys do yours, but
Right.
I don't really do too much pre-recorded. I like kind of, now that I've gotten comfortable and I've learned the ropes, you feel me? I like to go live. I just like to communicate with other people. You know, you read the comments and you could talk to somebody. You know, I don't really like just when you say what?
I said we plan on doing. I didn't mean to cut you off. We plan on doing that shit. We ain't got the big
Oh
enough
yeah.
following.
Well. Like with this, it's kind of different because y'all can talk to each other. You know what I mean? When I'm in front of the camera by myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
hell yeah.
in my little studio thing, it's just me talking to the camera. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it
don't
makes
really like it. Like I can do it and I've done it. You know, just to keep. You know, you have to be diverse on your channel for it to grow, whatever the case may be. But I like going live because then I can talk to people in the comments. you kind of build relationships because you see the same people. Like, okay, I remember this person. You know what I mean? Yo, what's good with it, bro? Appreciate you pulling up all the time. You know, type stuff. So
It's cool.
so it's dope.
I hopped in there one time. I'm not a Raider fan by no means. It's Cowboys over here, but like you gotta show love to your people. So I hopped in there one time. He was talking about some shit. I was like, Cowboys, we'll just talk my shit real quick. Talk my shit real quick. So what made you like? Was there anything like? I know you're a Raider fan, and like, was there? Like, what made you get into it? Like, what made you start the YouTube? What made you start Rate the Tape?
Well, I wanted to start another stream of income. You know, and that's what I talked about earlier when. You know, when I got out of the military and I started school, and it was like I could have got a regular job. I still can, you know what I mean? But it's like I'd rather take it upon myself to learn how I could, you know what I mean, make money without going to go get a job, because what frustrates me the most is that you get paid for your time a lot. You feel me? So it's like you have to clock that. You got to punch that clock. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you got to work that 8 if you want that pay.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have to work the 8 to get that pay. I want to get that pay somehow to where it depends on, you know what I mean, what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Or if I walk away, it's still going to pay me that 8. You feel me? Because I'm only there for an hour type. So I really try to like challenge myself to take it upon myself to figure these things out. What are people doing to this, that, and the third? And then at a certain point, hopefully, you know, I find something, stumble across something to where it really develops a large amount of passive income, you know. So that's what really got me into it. But also, I like watching film, you know. I like the Raiders, you know. It's too easy to talk about the Raiders, you know. So that's why I did it.
It's like a second language.
Yeah, man.
So
that's why when we was talking about like Derek Carr, top quarterbacks, it's like for me, I could say Derek Carr is, for me, a certain kind of quarterback or ranked a certain way because I've looked at the numbers, you know what I mean. I could ask questions that can't even be answered, you know what I mean, because it's like. It just doesn't happen. And
that's your job, you know? So, like, you're Rate the Tape. Yeah. So, like, that is your job. So that's why whenever you send me things, I'm just like, yeah, this is what he does. So, like, he's like, well, what are the PFF? Shannon Sharp hates Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
So
I don't like Pro Football Focus.
So I'll be like, man,
like
I ain't tripping about what's the PFF? I ain't tripping about the PFF. I'll be watching the game. I'm just like, I'm just talking about shit as well because I'm a Cowboys fan, a Raiders fan, and I don't be fucking with the Raiders and vice versa.
We need it.
Mainly the PFF, you just like to use it for the numbers, not for the grades so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of the time, the numbers you'll figure out where they took the snap. You know what I mean? Where were they on the field, stuff like that, and you can correlate it with you know what I mean, what happened on the field exactly. Because sometimes they'll be wrong. They'll count it against this guy when really it was this guy. Him, So that's why you still got to always go back to the film.
Like that Trayvon Diggs play against the Patriots. That was our safeties.
You know,
that was our safety spot right there. Diggs played the under route like he read him good.
It depends how you see it, man.
So Pro Football Focus probably set him up. It's true.
But what covers were they in?
Yes, you know
exactly.
You know
if you can't say what covers they in, you don't really know. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I don't really know.
I don't know but when I seen it looked like a cover 3, but it also looked like it was like a single high with the cover.
It was almost like Diggs was man with him with him over top.
If you look,
safety or single high safety over.
That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. And
he just got there late. I don't know.
The safety he looks. I think he was scary. I think he was.
But that's a pick. You look at the other side of the field though. That corner was running with his receiver. Like he was in man. So he didn't drop off. He didn't like drop off his receiver and stay in the flats or something. Right. He kept running upfield like he was stuck on his man like in man or something. So that's why I was kind of thinking like, if anything, wouldn't Diggs intercepted underneath the receiver?
So that's the
why
thing.
would he catch it behind him? You know what I mean? Because if he lets it go beyond him, then the receiver's gonna catch it.
I actually seen this same exact play. Jalen Ramsey was talking about it with his safety. It happened in the Rams game like last year. He was like, I'm going to get the under, and if it's underthrown, it's a pick for me. He's like, you get the over. If it's overthrown, it's a pick for you. He's like, in between shit, we're knocking it down. They literally, like, that play happens like in that game. Jalen goes to under, the guy goes over. He goes over, the safety gets the pick because the guy threw it just over. Yeah. So it was like that same thing, but our safety just wasn't there enough. You feel me? Like, I'm not saying Trevon could have picked it, but it could have got batted down too.
He did catch it.
So was the ball in between?
He didn't play the ball.
You know what I mean?
No,
he didn't play the ball at all. He didn't play the ball at all.
Because you watched the play, Diggs didn't follow through. He tailed off of the route and kind of like almost leaned away from where the ball was going, as if he was anticipating the safety, of course. But just because you anticipate,
so I think he was. So the week before the Giants game, we actually were at that game. Diggs the same route was ran, the little post, whatever, to the inside. Diggs played like kind of like like, oh, I'm just like he's faster than me. Like he kind of played like a decoy.
Yeah.
The ball got thrown, same route. He's under him, but he went up and got it.
Yeah.
This time there was no safety over the top. This time there was a safety over the top. So he's probably thinking, just in case I do got my
That's what he
safety,
did,
so I'm
but
gonna do
you
the
can't
same.
do that.
If Diggs
No, I
wanted to go up
understand
and
for
get
sure.
it, so I think that
Even in the game,
it
it
was
turns
his
to look like, you feel me, what happened?
It was
Like, I
his
thought you
fault.
got
Yeah,
it type
exactly.
shit.
I see
Yeah.
that. But
it was his
yeah.
fault. It was his
It
fault
was-
for
he-
doing
I was just
that.
thinking like,
Kinda took
damn,
it
why didn't he
off,
just
too.
go get it?
It
That's
was-
just
yeah,
in my
he should-
mind.
I thought
That's
too.
what I'm
He
thinking.
should
That's
have.
just what I'm thinking. Like you're
'Cause he
not
didn't
gonna
even jump
you're
at
not gonna
least.
go
Yeah.
away from
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get the ball.
Yeah,
Like I'm
he-
getting the ball. I don't care if my
Yeah.
teammate, you know what I mean, or if this. If
I was
this
actually
receiver.
surprised he didn't even try
But
to
also
leave
the
a
same
shot for
thing
that
with
shit, too.
because it's Damonte Kazi, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So same thing with him. He should have went for the damn ball.
And he did
like,
something.
What are you
he-
doing?
he-
And-
I think he thought Diggs
but
got it.
yeah, for sure.
But that's his job though. His
I feel like it would have almost been harder though because he would almost have to hit the receiver in order to get the. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He would have because
Hit him.
You think about it, he's behind him, right?
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was going downhill as the receiver's coming uphill. Diggs is going uphill with the receiver.
Yeah.
You feel me? So then he would come downhill. He would, I guess, catch the ball first, then hit the receiver. You
long
see what I'm
as he
saying?
catch it. He
should at
Or would
least hit him, though.
or
He
would
didn't
he
do
let the
shit.
receiver
As long
kind
as
of
he catch
pass and
it.
catch it over him? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think
so.
they-
Like, how would he almost get a penalty regardless because of how the game is played. Now. Like if
Ultimately-
he goes up, he tries to catch the ball, and he just like, oh, I'm gonna lay him out. Penalty. You know that's a penalty,
Right.
Yeah.
I think ultimately it was our safety's fault. But
Yeah.
again, as a Diggs should have gone, he should
Yeah.
have gone and got it. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think
but
it was
as a-
just miscommunication.
as
you
a
know what I mean?
play,
It was just-
as a play was set up, like if you just look at it on paper, it's the safety's
yeah.
job. To
At
get
the
it.
end of the day,
But-
it's the safety's fault. Yeah, because at the safety, you're the safety. Nothing
Right.
gets past you.
Right,
Nothing
exactly.
gets past you. So I agree.
Bare
I agree.
minimum, he
You're
should have
right.
came with a tackle. I don't,
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
me?
yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
care.
his
You
ass,
can't just let him.
Yeah.
touchdown
Yeah.
first
But at
play.
the same time,
It
that
was
happened.
just
he gave
weird.
us
They
like
both
a
kind of
more
like
time.
just kind of let the play go.
It was hella
thinking each other
weird.
were gonna go for
Miscommunication.
it.
Even
So
Dan
that
Quinn
was-
after the
pick it
game
off.
said he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's like 10. He's like 9 out of 10 times. He's like, I don't think they could ever do that again. Like that same.
Yeah,
little,
it was.
It was like
I
a
mean,
fluke
honestly,
type
I
of
think it was
shit.
just luck.
It was
like
luck.
y'all got lucky. It was in
New
between
England.
two receivers and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both
It
the
was-
receivers
That's a
kind of
bad
like
ball.
took it off. Like
It wasn't even a good ball. Like
Yeah.
So I wanna ask you about you do Rated Tape, talk about the Raiders. So how do you stay with content? Like if let's say the off season for
I mean, man, we're the Raiders, man.
Right, so
you see what
during-
happened to our coach?
yeah, I did. So during the
It's
season,
easy.
create
It's easy to
content.
talk about something when
during
stuff like that happens.
during the season, like it's a lot more game
Oh,
by
yeah.
game by game, game by game. Off season, if it's just dead, what did you
Yeah.
do, or how are you going to like to keep people do you like every episode you do now? Because you have you're doing well. Like I'll be seeing every week I see like it's growing and growing. Your fan base is getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, dude, that's dope. Like that's sick to see. So like every video now, are you like going into it like, all right, like I gotta bring something good? Obviously we gotta bring something
Yeah.
good, but like you kind of
Like a pressure?
is there anything like so for the off season?
Not really.
There's nothing going
for
on in the off season. What are you
for
gonna
the
do?
Off-season? Well, I started in the off season. That was the tough
Right.
thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a weird, but it was kind of the off season was right after the draft, so it kind of gave something to talk about. You know what I mean? You could talk about the draft. Whatever
It's crazy.
the case may be.
He's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders stretched and chose Leatherwood, and they chose Leatherwood.
Yeah.
He's just like, bro, I
Yeah.
knew it. So
Yeah.
he called Leatherwood.
Merrick.
Yeah, Merrick. We wanted to get married. They jumped up
Yeah.
and picked him right in front of us.
Yeah.
But so kind of just with the content.
Yeah, they say I jinxed us getting Leatherwood because I said that. And that's why I said it about
Is he playing
Trayvon
good?
Merrick.
Is he playing good for y'all at least?
No,
Is he O line or D line? He's O line.
we drafted him as a tackle. He's playing guard now.
Yeah, because y'all.
He got pulled the first 3 games. He played tackle, and then these last 2 games he got pulled to play guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morig's cool though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
cool.
Moore is
He had his
solid.
first pick
He's
last
solid,
week,
bro.
huh?
He's super
good.
disciplined safety,
Yeah, he's cool.
and he'll come up and hit. So he's solid.
So with what you're doing now on the YouTube, I know we talked about it. I think when you first started it about the Rated Tape. Is there anything else like are you only gonna want to keep this YouTube page as like a Raider page, or is there anything else that you like see for like your future or for like you personally like you want to bring? Because I mean, again, like man's doing good. Like, you have a following? Like, is there anything else you want to bring to the table to get maybe more viewers, or not even necessarily just Raider fans, or
number
what?
one thing is players. Communicate with the players. That's my thing right now. Is have a relationship with some of the players on the team or somebody close to the team. That's all I'm working at right now.
All right.
That's all. That's it. You know what I mean? That's. I feel like that's as far as I could really go without being in the press. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
being there at training camp and being there during practices and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Just getting more information faster, just having a relationship with the players, doing an interview. You know what I mean?
That'd be dope.
Yeah, because I know people that have done it. You know, people do have relationship with players, retired players.
Yeah, there's one Cowboys
all
guy.
sorts of stuff.
His name is West Coast, and he had Jalen Smith following him, and they did stuff together, and like Barry Church. So like, I can definitely, and he be bugging me. He's a Cowboys, but he be bugging the shit out of me, you know. But like, so like, that's kind of like, is that like your that's your like end goal with the raid? With the
Yeah,
raid
for
to take?
sure. Yeah, and then just building community, you know, relationships with people, you know.
I know you said something about
stuff
life
like
coaching
that.
or something like that. Did
Yeah.
you? So is that something you want? How do you like how do you want to if so still want to implement that? Is it going to be on your YouTube? Is it going to be?
I wouldn't be able to do it like this
Not-
because when you make a YouTube, you definitely want to have. You got to target. You have to have a target audience. You know what I mean? You have to have a target audience. So this target audience wouldn't mix with that. I feel like you know what I mean. So I necessarily I want to do that.
Would you
That
make
would
it?
have to be something.
Do you think you'd make
completely
another YouTube channel, or do you think you would go about it another way?
different? It would definitely be. It would definitely be another channel, but. It would definitely be another channel. I wouldn't be ready to tape though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely
Okay.
be another channel.
All right. So
But for that, you really have to build up a good image.
Right.
I'm not saying I have a bad image or anything, but you have to build up a different kind of image. You know what I mean? Because a life coach motherfucker look at me and be like, oh, he don't know shit. You know what I mean? He might be dumb. You know, he probably didn't graduate high school or something like that. You know, just stereotyping. You feel me? But then people talk to me if they want to talk to me about a certain subject, then I'm pretty educated on it. You see what I'm saying? But you got to build up a certain image, have a certain rep, also have certain coaching. A life coach ain't just a life coach. You have to get that coaching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that go into that
Right.
before starting it.
Yeah, so I think something, with this podcast that we want to do is, so before the podcast, I did something called Be Still Empire. It was basically every Friday I drop videos of like preaching. Like I'm not a preacher by no means, but like more just speaking like positivity into the world and stuff like that. And I did not want, so like what I planned for it to be turned out to like, again, people like, man, you're preaching, like you're... So I didn't want the podcast to turn into that because I want the podcast to be diverse. I want to talk about everything, but I do want ultimately like Big Brothers podcast. We talked about it in the first one, like to be a big brother to someone, like a mentor, right? Or even a big sister. You could be a big sister as well, and you don't have to necessarily be, like my brother said, an actual big brother to a sibling. So like that's something that like I would love for like our podcast to start doing more of. So it's kind of like, again, the whole life coaching and stuff like that. So like by building our image. So I know.
And with that, like you asked me about, how would I be able to continue? What are your guys' ideas as far as right now? You guys have, because I was also thinking for you guys, like continue bringing on guests, of course, you know what I mean? But also thinking about recent, recent news or topics or people, subjects, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like controversy, so stuff like that. The laws with abortion or something. What's the perspective on that? Y'all heard of Kevin Samuels?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? He be cutting up. You know what I mean? So
crazy.
So it's like you could
So
talk
I think
about stuff like that. So
I think that would bring more people in. Like the thing with us is that like we are a good team, but what we need to start doing more of is actually working together. Like more, like instead of just Wednesdays, Thursdays are we come record. I think we need to get to. I think like we talked about the other day and stuff like that. Like we need to really be a team and like an everyday thing. Like, hey, what's going on? What can we learn? What can we do? Because there's so much stuff to talk about that's interesting to people instead of like just our points of views and our life stuff. Like there's so many things that we can bring to light. And so I'm glad you said that because it's something that we do need to start doing. Like Wednesdays and Thursdays ain't enough. So our goal is, bro, I was telling them right before the podcast, like I had a dream, bro, like a vision. And it's something our camera guy and our editor and the man that put this together was like, y'all need a vision board. And I had like a dream, like a vision of like, have you ever seen Ballers with The Rock? You ever seen that TV show?
Yeah, TV show, yep.
So you seen the whole five seasons? I think it's...
Hell no.
So kind of long story short, they start off as like these business, like a gym, not a gym. I'm tripping right now. Damn, my mind is going blank. I said it earlier. Can you help me real quick? Maybe an agent, an agent, like a money agent, right?
Okay.
And then they end up doing something way bigger. So like it's called Sports X. The other homie, not The Rock, but the other homie did the Sports X thing where like they brought on creators. They did all of these things. They had this big ass building and they did all of these things in it and they worked. Like I had this dream, like this vision of doing that. And yesterday, my mom and our Tia Marisa's husband, Brian, they just opened up a clothing store, like a boutique store, not boutique clothing and stuff like that. And I was at the office yesterday and it's like a bunch of rooms. I was like, bro, like this is what I just dreamed about. So I would truly, like if I had a vision for this podcast and for more things to come, is to do something like that. Is to really expand us, get clothing, get other people, other creators, people who want to start something, people who, you know, that's kind of where I see this going. And I would love for my life to kind of do that. Because again, I don't want to go punch in no 8 hours for nobody. Like I'm good, bro. Like I've done it all. I've worked 19-hour shifts doing concrete. I've pushed wheelbarrows through mud. Like I know there's a lot of people in the world who do that on a daily basis, and I'm like, that's great. Like I know how hard work is, but like I just know I'm good.
For me,
you know, like I'm like I could do it, but like I woke up one morning. I kid you not, I got home at 10 o'clock at night, showered 8. I had to wake up at 12:30 to go to work. I laid on my bed, and my alarm went off. I closed my eyes for 2.5 hours, and I was like, bro, I can't do this no more. Like I have to figure it out. And I just think that like now God has put people into my life and just timing. It's all about timing, right? So that's just now it's going like that. So now it's up to us. You know, God's like, hey, this could happen, but it's up to you all how y'all really want to do it. So, you know, by bringing you on and just, you know, introducing you. If you're a Raider fan, go follow him. Ready to Tape on YouTube.
Yes,
we'll drop the link. We'll drop the link in the
YouTube,
bio and
Twitter,
all
whatever.
that. Yeah, all of it. So if you're a Raider fan, go do it. If you're a hater and you want to just go get on them because, you know, we're Cowboy fans over
you
here.
can even dislike my videos. I don't give a
Just
shit.
go watch them all. We just
Just make
exactly.
sure you get that view in.
Yeah, just get that view, get that watch time in.
That's
But
how
like,
it's about.
but like, truthfully, bro, like that's how I want to see it, and we just got to be better of a team as I know like we can do. So that's what I envision with the podcast. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all visions with it, but that's my point on it.
Same shit that you said. Just keep bringing on more guests.
Yeah.
More guests, the better.
Talking like-
So just keep talking about everything.
Everything, man.
Get more verse in everything.
Put on do not disturb, bro.
Everybody should, man.
Come on, man, act like you're in live right now.
This is why you on live right now.
But yeah, just keep growing and learn, get more verse on multiple topics.
Yeah.
Be sound so we can be or know what the hell we talking about when we talk about those subjects. I don't want to come across as uneducated because none of us are. You know what I'm saying? So got to be highly educated on the shit that we be talking about.
Yeah. Most definitely. And the thing with that is, man, it comes from just reading, you know what I mean, diving into it. But at the same time, it's like nobody wants to sit there and read a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's why YouTube come in handy.
it does.
That's why it's easier. Sometimes people learn easier just to watch something or something like that. But
What about you? What do you think?
What do I think of what?
What we just talking about, man?
What
Where you
I'm
been
thinking
at,
about.
man? Stop smoking them skips, man. About this, about
We're trying to bubble up, obviously.
Right, all
We're trying to create good content. We're trying to link up with other creators.
yeah,
We're trying to just support. We're trying to get support received, you feel me? And just push out, I think, good content, especially with guests, and pick their brain so that whoever's watching can see from their perspective and get like, or you feel me? We might even have Raider fans now just come watch us because you joined or whatnot, you feel me?
True.
So that's just how we're trying to do with guests and just, boom, bring more wide of people watching our things too because we're over here bringing facts, hopefully.
Yeah. I think that people forget, like, I'll never forget where I came up, like, where I came from. Like, I'll never forget that shit. So, like, no matter how far I go in life, if I'm a doctor or if, like, man, we're YouTubers, right? Because I remember we talked about, like, if you do YouTube, like, how do you, bro, I'm a YouTuber, right? Like, I'm an Instagrammer or I'm a whatever it is. So, like, no matter how big, if the case is, God willing, man, we all bubble up. Like, I will never forget, like, this person. Like, just because, like you're not this popping name, but you have some good stuff to bring to us and to the world. Like, let's go. Like, I think us personally, that's not the type of people we are. Like, man, we're so loved to anybody and everybody. So, like, honestly, bro, I before we go, do you have anything to ask or?
Nah, man.
All right,
Not really, man. Appreciate y'all bringing me on.
What about y'all?
It was a good time.
Anything? Any last?
Just want to say thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
as our
bro,
guest.
we appreciate
it.
Yeah, no problem, man. A good time. Good to see y'all. You know, it's probably been like
minute, boy. It's been a
probably
minute.
Like, shoot, I don't even know how long. Like 10
Those
years,
little
maybe more than
kids.
10
Maybe,
years.
bro. You left freshman year, so that freshman year was my something like so. It's been like 14 years.
I was still on last because shoot, I would still come back out. You feel me? I still link up. You know what I mean?
It's just been a little minute though.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But yeah, man. For real, bro. I appreciate you making the drive out here. You know, and appreciate it, again, because we talked about things even before the podcast actually began. And
I remember you called me. You was like, "Hey, how you FaceTime me? How you do this?
Yeah.
How you do this?" Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying? Because I see you doing it, and like, I appreciate you even taking the time to even helping me out. Because I know you're busy. I know you got your kids and you got your own stuff going on. So, man, much love, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming on, and I wish the best.
Again.
Yeah,
Honestly,
man, for sure. Yeah.
After Thanksgiving, and y'all take that L, you don't have to come and talk
We
about
should do a
it.
bet. I was thinking about making a bet,
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not betting on.
But I was more gonna
Cowboys.
say, like, if they all lost, like, you gotta wear a Cowboy jersey on your live. But I don't think that work. Yeah,
No,
it won't work. Yeah, it won't work. Right at the table, like, man, what's up with this?
Shit.
But nah, bro.
I'm
Thank you,
burning
bro.
hell before that. Shit.
Nah, but again, bro, we appreciate your time and all that, man. Again, if you have not yet, rate the tape on YouTube, on Instagram. Go show some love for your Raider fans or for whoever else, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it, bro. This is Big Brothers Podcast, episode 8.
Leave a like, show some love, leave some comments.
Like, subscribe. You already know what to do if you're on YouTube.
All of it, baby. All of it, baby.
Smash
So,
that like.
let's go.
appreciate
It's only up from here, baby. We on vacation. Let's go. Peace out, y'all.
Thinking about my